Dirt Rally has just been updated to version 0.800 and we're going to jump in and check it out. Of course, this is the Flying Finland update, and most importantly, and perhaps most excitingly of all, it includes something that's suspiciously like a DiRT or a crisp floating around, but that's actually the mouse pointer and marks the introduction of mouse support in the game. Now, unfortunately, you can't click on the bottom menu options with the mouse, so you still have to play the cryptic National Lottery which number's the winning number game on your controller to use them. But if anything's on the screen that's got like a window on it, like any of these options, you can then just click on them with the mouse, which is a lot easier than playing the National Lottery cryptic number game. What we're going to do is we're going to go to Custom Rally and we're going to do one of the new tracks, which is, of course, Finland. Now, there's 12 stages that you can pick from. I don't know why I'm putting 12 stages on there. I just thought I would. Put AI on Master, blah, blah, blah. All done. Let's go in. Now, there's 12 different stages in this new update. And I think what they've done, like the other rally stages in Dirt Rally, so they've got one absolutely giant or two absolutely giant tracks, and then they sort of cut them up into little bits to make multiple stages from it, which means that you can go and do one single giant stage or just the smaller parts of the stages. But let's just go into Okasala Sprint. Now, I'm using the T300 RS wheel to play this, and I have to say, from playing this last night, it's absolutely awesome. What we'll do is we'll also check out the new 2000s cars. You'll see they've added in a Subaru Impreza 2001, the type of vehicle that's driven by really caring, sensible people. When you see them on the road in real life, you think, boy, that must be a really nice, friendly guy, not some arrogant, insufferable fool that happens to have undersized genitalia. And also the Ford Focus RS Rally 2001, which actually had a friend that owned this car, obviously not the rally car, but it's really nice. It's like a blast from the past. Let's pick the car that's suited to my genitalia size. We're going to go for the Subaru Impreza, and we're going to go to Okasala in the afternoon. Now, of course, the tracks have the different weather settings as well, so you can drive them at night, which technically isn't weather, that's just when the sun's on the other side of the earth. You can drive them at night, in the rain, there's no snow, there's rain, dry, evening and night, which all have different characteristics to the handling of the vehicles, which again, it just adds extra depth and extra replayability to the game and to the tracks. Here we go. So, into there, and we've loaded up really fast. Dirt Rally actually loads and runs really well, I've found. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the vehicle. Now, one thing I've found is that the default setups in Dirt Rally are, in my opinion, garbage. Terrible, don't use them. What they've done is they've set up the vehicles to be very understeery, and in some ways, people that can't drive over the limit or can't balance the car on the throttle and accelerator might prefer that because, you know, they like a nice car that just gradually slides off the road into a tree. If you've got the basic understanding of how to drive a car, what you'll want to do is increase they call it loose and strong, but basically change the differential on the front and the rear so that the car is, according to Dirt, loose. just make it loose. The gear ratios, I'll have to check out the car a bit more for that to see what's right. Sometimes they're a bit off, especially some of the Pikes Peak cars. The gear ratios seem a bit bonkers. And the suspension, what we want to do is we want to make the rear a little bit harder. Not too hard because this track's got jumps. It's kind of like just launching. It's like being Evel Knievel sometimes racing these Finnish tracks. They're absolutely bonkers. But that will do. So we've set the differential to loose, which should make the back end come out more. And we've made the rear a bit harder. So basically, we just turned the car into a drift machine. I'm going to put the brake bias a bit to the front as well. So hopefully, when you dab the brake, the car weighting moves around more, because I like to be able to just drive the car on the throttle and the brake. But let's get to the vehicle. Setup screens, boring. Oh, we can change the brake strength. Didn't even realise that. There's additional options on each setting, or some of them don't have additional options. But oh, there you go. Well, I didn't realise that if you click on the option, you can go into even more detail. Fantastic. Unfortunately, it just says loose or strong. There's no like defined value, so you're going to have to fiddle with it to get something that you like. But there we go. That should be enough to make the magic happen with our Super Impreza. Hang on, let's feed this guy a crisp. He looks hungry. There you go. Okay, now because I'm using a T300 RS, it doesn't have a gear stick unlike the G25, so I'm using a button on the steering wheel for the handbrake. Oh, but I mean, it's just fantastic. As I say, I was playing this last night for about 2 or so hours, and it's just so much fun, especially with the car setup changes to get it so that the car just turns in on the corner. So before I did the setup changes, I'd find that I would be braking to hit the inside of the corner, and then the car would just gently slide off the track in a really unsatisfactory, dull way. What I really like to do with rally cars is, when going into the corner, get the nose in early on the inside of the corner, and then use the throttle to sort of slide the car around with the inside wheel on the inside of the corner. And it, you know, there's probably a faster way of driving it than understeering off into a tree. Whoa! Oh, now some of these the Finnish tracks. Oh, tree, it's okay. Ditch, tree. Some of the Finnish tracks have a different road surface from what I've noticed in the game previously, in that they're sort of half tarmac, half dirt on the same surface. So you'll come over a jump, and there's a little bit of a question in your mind when you land in the car, how much you need to land, how much turn you need on the steering on landing. Because of course, if it's tarmac when you land, as you've got the steering wheel turned, what will happen is the car will suddenly bite in and it'll go flying off the track. But if it's dust, you can land with the car at quite an angle with the steering, and it's alright because the front won't bite into the road, and so it actually turns out to be the right amount of angle for that corner. It's tricky, but you know, once you get the hang of it, once you pay attention to the colour of the road and the texture and what the road surface is, then you can kind of be aware of what's going to happen in the future and what's coming up after the jumps, to know how to have your steering when it comes to landing. But it's a nice different challenge, and I think that's what's really good with Dirt Rally, is there's just all this different types of driving it, all the different surfaces, all the different weather conditions, and that's what rally's about, just having loads of dynamic situations to throw a car around and drive on the limit into a tree. Oh dear. Normally we would have hit the tree there and the game would have cut off and the car would have been broken. For some reason I think we might have killed a pedestrian, and the game's let us off. It's alright to kill pedestrians in rally, that's fine, just don't drive into trees and kill pedestrians. Whoa! Nearly lost control there. But with the T300 RS, the force feedback, absolutely fantastic. Always, you know, it's communicating what the car's doing. Whenever there's been a mistake, or I've lost control of the car. Whoops. Whenever I've lost control of the car or made a mistake, it's been my fault, and it's been very obvious why it was my fault, which is crucial with rally games, because you need to know why you lost control. Just take the shortcut. You need to know why you lost control and what was the cause of that, so that in the future you can learn from it. The flags, Swedish flag, Finnish flag. I have to say, it is extra tricky trying to drive whilst talking, and on these Finnish stages especially, you really have to listen. Oops, there's a finish line. I thought it was a right-hander. You really have to listen to your co-driver. You can't just ignore him and go for it and look at the track, because just getting the jumps right, and making sure you're not on the wrong part of the track when it comes to jump, making sure you're in the middle or to the left or to the right, depending on what's coming up after the truck, after the jump, is vitally important. So we're going to do the next track. Let's go for it. We're going to need to fix the car because we did smash it up a little bit. But absolutely amazing update. And for those of us that got into Dirt Rally early on and sort of bought into it when it was, I don't know what they called it, like pre-alpha or whatever they called it, really, it's now a really good value for money. That, of course, each update they've done, we should have fixed the car, we're cooking a barbecue in the bonnet. Each update they've done, they've upped the price of the game, and I still think, with where the game is now, at the price that it's at now, it's a fantastic value for money game. And to be honest, it's the only rally game that's come out for 8 years that's worth playing. If you've got a force feedback steering wheel and you care about how cars handle, and you want the experience of driving cars around and feeling what they do, this is the only rally game you can play that's come out since RBR. So go. Just fantastic that CODEMASTERS have actually done this rather than doing another garbage dirt game, sort of their old style game with the bro dudes. But what's nice as well is with the damage of the cars, get over crest lane car. With the damage of the cars as well, you really feel the character of them gradually change. Now the game is ridiculously forgiving with the damage, and I think it would be nice if CODEMASTERS do a sort of hardcore mode with more realistic damage, because obviously the crash I had in the previous stage, if that was real life, fajita wrapping your car around a tree would result in the car being retired. So it'd be nice if they had a hardcore mode that basically put real world damage on. But where it is now, I think it's a good in-between for people that want a little bit of punishment when they crash, and obviously want to avoid crashing and get penalised for the next stage from a crash and have to sort of sacrifice some time to repair the car. See, there you go, got to pay attention to the co-driver there, I was not listening. The damage is good for sort of the moderately skilled player at the moment, but as I say, I think it'd be really good for them to do a hardcore damage mode. Oh, but the way the damage affects the handling, as you can see, now the car's... Oh no, not paying attention! Saved by the ditch. Skill ditch jump there. The way the damage has affected the car now, it's kind of reasonably aligned. It's turning to the left a bit by itself, but on the brake it's changing its handling on the brake a bit. It's just nice how the different types of damage affect the handling in different ways depending on how you've damaged the vehicle. And again, it just adds to that sort of dynamic challenge of how you approach and how you're going to drive the car, which again is what rally's about. As we go past someone's letterbox, I wouldn't let them do a rally. Whoa! If they knew I was driving, I wouldn't let myself drive past my house on a rally track. We're going to hit a tree in a second. That's getting there nicely. Oh. Now, one thing with the setup changes that I made, having it so that... Oh, we've gone in way too fast. Having it so that the back end actually slides out on the brake and the accelerator means that, unlike before, you can make a bit of a mistake and, you just twitch the steering a bit and put the power on, and you can rely on the engine power to sort of dig you out of that mistake. Oh, should try and listen... Oh my god! Need to listen to the co-driver here. As I say, these stages are just bonkers. If you're not listening to the co-driver, you're going to be dead. I'm amazed we stayed on the track at the moment. Left 6, middle over crest jump. Oh my god! I was even listening at that point. Oh yeah, one thing with the... Oh, the tension's going up. One thing with the co-driver, I have noticed this when I was playing this last night a bit more seriously. Sometimes he will say, jump maybe. When the maybe is actually, no, not maybe, it's definitely this is a jump that's going to send you into outer space if you don't dab the brake a bit going up the slope. So the co-driver is a little bit mental on some of these stages, so makes some situations a little bit more tricky than they need be. But what I'm going to do now, over the finish line, there we go. What I'll do is I'll do a separate video of actually driving whilst concentrating. Oh, we lost our rear tyre there, but that would look really nice, just the wheel drum sparking off the road. What I'll do is a separate video actually driving and concentrating, not trying to drive, talk, and listen to the co-drive at the same time, which is a recipe for disaster. But yeah, the update, I think it's version 8.0 now, 0.8. Really, really, really good. And if you were holding off on buying this game, now would be the time to get it. Just sublime as a rally game. Really fun. And it's got the game element of it as well, in that you can play through, build up credits. CODEMASTERS have also reset some of the online scoring and stuff like that. The times that people set on stages. And of course the game does have a multiplayer mode with its rallycross. So it's just absolute tons of content coming into it. Really nice, dynamic, deep physics. Awesome sounds. I can't say any more. Just go and get it if you haven't got it yet. And I'll do a proper video driving whilst listening and concentrating. But thanks for watching this video. That's the Dirt Rally update. I'll see you in our next video. Don't forget to click the links in the description. I've got a link to our Facebook page, our Twitch, our Twitter and all that business. Subscribe to this video and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.